Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Ransational, back with Rand's Room. Today, we got a special guest, a controversial guest, a guest you may know, a guest you might not know. But guess what? If you don't know him, you're going to know him today. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Most Wanted.
And the crowd goes wild. Round
And
of
the
applause.
crowd
I have to add
goes
it in there,
wild, mate.
yeah.
My guy from across the pond, Most Wanted. What's going on today, man?
Not much, man. Literally just been chilling today. I've been waiting with a lot of anticipation for the highly anticipated Ryan's room with Most Wanted. So I've been waiting, looking forward to it today,
Mm.
fam.
Well, you're here, you're on Rand's room, and I feel like there was no better guest to have than you for today. So let's start this off with a most wanted classic. Let's get into some hot shit. What do you think?
I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. I just told you before the recording started. I told you I'm ready. Ask me about anything.
Absolutely.
Anything.
So I think there's no better way to start off than what everybody knows you for, Misfits. And I want to start with your first showing to Misfits, and I want you to tell everybody how you got there.
Man, how did I get that opportunity on Misfits? You know what? People ask me about this like in person. I usually like try and give them like a streamlined version, but usually what I say to people is I just talk good. I'm not famous like everyone else on there is
Mm,
like they have like a YouTube channel or they were on some like TV show or anything like that. I just went on Twitter and I just talked and talked and talked. And then eventually they were like, you know what? Let's give this guy a chance to prove himself against, a semi-professional boxer. So, there was always that as well. But I was like, you know what? Whatever's gonna get me in this door, I know I can capitalize off of it and go on to bigger and better things. And that's exactly what I did.
Absolutely. And let's talk about that semi-professional boxer that they did give you, Joey Knight. Talk to us about one training for Joey Knight. I remember it being short notice, correct?
Yeah.
So talk to us about that short camp that you had, the mental preparation, knowing you're getting in there with a guy who's obviously better than you, and just being in front of that stage for the very first time in your life.
Um, you know what? When again, another thing I always do is I always exaggerate. I always like it's 2 weeks notice, but it's really 3 weeks notice. Obviously if you take away the fight week as well. But
Right.
training for that fight, I didn't really do much. I hate running. So like all of the cardio, well, not now. Like I've come a long way since. But
Okay.
at that time, I never did any kind of like running. And the only like cardio that I did was always like sparring or just like pad work, just rounds and rounds and rounds, just trying to stack it up and get the rounds in. But I wasn't really in a gym for that fight. I trained with Coach Solomon, with Fox and stuff for like I think it was like a week probably, but through it was probably like 4 sessions I did with those guys in the lead up to that fight, and then I
Mm.
just over did my own thing for a little bit. I put my mattress up against because this is when I was living by myself in a place called Harefield. Now everyone you can search UK Harefield. It's like a
Airfield.
small town. It's just one street. It's got like two shops and that's it. That's Harefield.
Damn.
Is some out in the no middle
Everybody
of
knows
nowhere kind of
everybody.
town. Yeah, literally, everyone knows everybody, and then there's just one most wanted that doesn't really leave his house because he's on Xbox all day. You know what I'm saying? But what was it called? So I put my mattress up against the wall, and I was like punching it. I was like, let me use the heavy bag, and I'll turn around, put my
Right.
mattress up against the wall, and punch on the mattress, like doing prison workouts, bro. It was crazy. But yeah, in all seriousness though, that there wasn't really much training for that fight.
As far as the fight itself, just like how did you feel stepping into the ring, dealing with the crowd, fighting someone who you know, like I said, leagues above you? How did you feel taking his punch? How did you feel getting him with a punch? All of that.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. This is obviously like I'm assuming we're gonna get into other stuff in a second, but
Of
it's
course, of
funny
course.
in retrospect now. But I wasn't really nervous for that fight at all.
Hmm.
I felt like I was around good people through the fight week, people that I was quite familiar with. Um, and going into the fight, like on fight night, like the making, like in the locker room, leading up to the moment where they said 5 minutes out and making that walk, I was absolutely fine. The thing that I was like telling myself, my internal dialogue was mostly you've sparred a million heavyweights, a million light heavyweights, a million cruiserweights. What's this experienced lightweight gonna do to you that you haven't felt before? That was my
Right.
mentality going into it. Like you've done this a million times. You've walked to the gym, walked up them steps, and sparred a million people in your life. So what's gonna happen now in boxing in a
That's
sport
the right
that's
mindset to have.
there's less ways to lose than MMA anyway. I won't say it's less dangerous, but yeah. So that's like that side of things. But as far as in the fight, when I was getting punched by him, that was my first time getting hit in 10-ounce gloves. And I still say
Mm,
this to this day. There's different types of power. Some people have like just power that like you shy away from because like wow, this guy's got
hmm.
weight behind his punches. He didn't have any of that kind of power. He just had shocking speed. It was the speed and the accuracy that was just
Yeah,
shocking. I was never really hurt in that fight, but I was just the shots that he was hitting me with was mad. It was like raw, like where's this guy gone? I was
right.
never like rocked,
He
but
was
I was
very
just like,
elusive
what's
in
this
that fight.
guy? Yeah, yeah, it was mad. It was mad. And honestly, like that fight taught me so much stuff about myself and about what I need to like work on going forward in boxing as well. So I'm really just happy with it. But yeah, no, I felt like I reconfirmed in myself that I have a solid chin. And
Hmm.
people can play the clips of like him ducking under and him hitting me and me not knowing where he is. I was not rocked in those moments.
Mm,
And even the knockdown, it was my feet. If you go back and watch, my feet was squared up. Like my feet
yeah,
was
that's
squared
what
up
I was
because
gonna
of me
ask you
trying to
about.
do that.
So you would say the knockdown was more like a flash instead of, hey, he got me.
No, I mean he definitely got me, but it was not like I didn't go down because oh my god that shot was so big and like I'm just rocked. It was definitely not of that thing. It was like my feet were squared up and he just timed it perfectly. If you see,
Mm,
and I seen a clip of him explaining the knockdown he did with True Geordie of like watching back the fight with me. He said he said that his corner like shouted like a command at him like last 30 seconds or like last something like that like last minute last 30 seconds. And then that's when he was just like, okay, bet. And he just sprung forward with this jumping left
mm.
hook. And that's the shot that put me down. It was because my feet were squared up. But yeah, look, I walked away from that fight in myself knowing I have a solid chin and no one's gonna be able to hurt me. And I've had that reconfirmed in times after that in sparring and in gym against different level opponents, different weights opponents. So
For sure.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna take it a different gear. You kind of expected it a little bit. So with all of that being said, how does that bring you to your next fight with Fox the G in the outmatched 2v1?
What like mentality wise?
Just so as far as just like you said, you didn't really feel the nerves in that first fight. You were you had the good people around you. You didn't have that much time to train for it, but you still knew you trusted what you did. You made the walks to the gym, et cetera, et cetera. So in the next fight, you have more time to train. You know a little bit longer. You have, I'd say, a better entire camp. How does all of that lead to you not making the walk on that night?
There was a million and one like elements that led up to that whole what happened with me in Nashville not walking out situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
the people I was around, I wasn't as familiar with those people.
Mm,
Um, I was it was my first time in America, first time flying and everything like that. Um, there's so many reasons that some of them I will get into and some of them I won't get into on here. Um, but like I said, feel free to ask me about any of them. But what's it called? I'll say this that I think that the biggest contributing factor to me not walking out was my brain like not being in the right place.
mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't as focused. I kept on saying to people during fight week like, oh, like I don't care about this fight. Evil Hero's gonna go in there and get knocked over anyway. Like whether it's me in the ring first or him in the ring first, like I like no one like that's sensible thought I was gonna go in there and get stopped in a minute and a half, and we were
Right,
splitting the rounds.
right.
So it was either I go in first and go through that minute and a half and then tag him in and he gets stopped, or he goes in and gets stopped. And that was my mentality during the fight week, and I think that was really bad for me because I
Mm.
like when I was fighting Joey, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in the ring with this guy and do this and that. I've got this plan,
You
I've
were
got
very
that plan, and I'm
confident
gonna work.
against Joey.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But with
Mm-hmm.
this fight, the only thing I was confident in was that it
You
was
could
gonna stop
survive.
with evil hero is gonna get the
Mm-hmm.
reason, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was just like the whole mentality was wrong. And then even with me having that wrong mentality, I was vocalizing, I was saying it. And people
Mm.
weren't really I didn't have the people around me at the time weren't really
Hey, stop saying that.
kind of steer me they
You're
weren't
good.
steering me in the right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to like push all the blame on those people at all, because at the
Of
end of the day,
course.
like I said in the beginning of my explanation, it was my own mentality that was mashed up from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. I wasn't able and I wasn't strong enough mentally to be able to pull myself back and refocus and get ready for what I needed to do. So it's definitely like the responsibility is on me for sure. But as far as to answer your question of like what led up to that situation, that's my explanation.
For sure. And of course, there was the bomb threat. Did that have anything to play into effect? Because I know
Oh
the event
yeah, I
was
forgot about
postponed for
all
a
of
little
that.
bit.
So here, this is gonna be a good clip. So the bomb threat thing, yeah. What people need to realize, the reason, oh, this whole meme of, oh, you had to shit in the woods on Fred Beck. Why did you say that? Why did you say that? Because that was what's on my mind, bro. That was what's on my mind. The bomb threat situation. Um, we was driving there, and then we got a call, and they said, yo, you're gonna have to wait in the police custody. Not custody, sorry, the police line. Like the police stopped
Yeah,
everyone. There was like a line of cars. So they said you're gonna have to wait, like when the police tell you to go, then you can come through. So then we go there, then we're like, cool. Then the lady tells us, we get there, we're stopped in this police line. The lady tells us on the phone, she's like, yo, you're not fighting. But go back to the hotel, you're not fighting. Like the
mm,
event's not gonna continue. The police will shut it down, and they're not letting it go. So in my
right.
head, I'm thinking, okay, cool, I don't need to fight. So my whole mentality switched off there. I'm thinking, cool, like I wonder if we're gonna stay in Nashville for another week. I'm wondering about anything but this. I'm wondering, oh, are they gonna reschedule
Right.
this fight to be on a UK card, or what's gonna happen? I'm thinking of anything except for I'm fighting in a few hours. Then the lady calls us and says, "Yo, the police are gonna come grab you and bring you like up front of the line so you can get into the venue and do what you need to do." I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm fighting again. Great. I'm ready to fight. I'm trying to get back in that mode." And then like an
Hmm.
hour goes by, and this whole time, by the way, this is even before when we left the hotel. You ever do this thing where you're like, "I need to go toilet, but I'm gonna be there in like
Yep.
45 minutes. I just don't want to get there." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what I did. And so this is like 2 hours. So this is like 45 minute drive there, 2 hours waiting in this line. So it's like 3 hours in basically. And then the lady says, "We're not fighting. Go back to the hotel." So this is two times she switched. So she's told us we're not fighting again after
Right.
just telling us that we were again. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Whatever, man. And then I say to the driver, I'm like, yo, is there like a gas station nearby? I need to go toilet now because otherwise it's long. Yeah. Now listen, at that moment, and this is to everyone listening, this is to everyone listening that made these jokes. At that moment, I was faced with a decision. Yeah. I could do in my trousers in that car, or I can hop out, yeah, and use that Sandex Andrex tissue that I had and go and do what I need to do elsewhere. Now, I chose to go elsewhere. I know a lot of the people listening, they would have chosen to do it in their trousers in the car, right? Because they want to make fun of people doing it in the woods. Because they would have done it in the car, man. They would have done it in the car in their own
Apparently, right?
trousers. Yeah, that's what they would have done. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I had to go and do that. And I've come back to the van, and then the security tells us, "You're not fighting again." So now I'm thinking, okay, bless. Then half an hour, I'm sitting in this car because then the police said we can't even come out the line to go back to the hotel. So we're waiting for the line to be finished.
Damn.
Because we couldn't even turn around and go back this whole time. So then the what's it called? The people tell us, yeah, you guys are gonna get let through again, like brought up like up through the line because we're like fighters and stuff. Because we were in a line, the line we was in was with like the fans and everything. Like people was coming up to the car and saying like, "Yo, I swear you're fighting tonight." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, they were like, "Oh, well, good luck, bro." Like, it was crazy, bro. So then they eventually the line goes through, and we get to the front of the line. I'm like my stomach's you know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying,
sure.
making all these
For
noises,
sure.
and I get there and I jump out the van. I push Evil Hero, who's coach. I think I didn't like not in a rude way, but I pull him out the way. I'm like, bro, I need to get out of this car before you. I need to go. So I pull him out the way. I'm like, okay, cool. I jump out the van, and then everyone that was in the arena, because remember there was fights that happened. So everyone that
Yeah.
was in the arena is like by this entrance at the back. So I'm pushing past. When I say I'm pushing past everyone, I'm pulling Neon out the way. I'm pulling Modine out the way. Joey Knight. I'm pulling him out the way. Hasim grabs me. He's like, "You're fighting." I'm like, "Yeah, get me in this place." Hasim grabs me by the back of my shoulder. He starts parting the crowd like the seven seas. He's like,
Shout
"Yo,
out to
everyone move. This
Hassim.
is the main event. I got the main event right here. He needs to get in. The main event needs to get right in." I'm like, "Bless this guy." I turn around, spot him. Then the security has like, those metal detecting
Yep.
wands, right? That they wand you down with. Then Hassim's like, "Nah, nah, nah, he's fighting. He's the main event." And then the security's like, "Okay, go ahead through." And I run in, and the first person I see, I say, "Where's the toilet?" They were like, "That way." I start jogging. I'm like, "Yo, yeah, I'm jogging." And then, you know what I'm saying? And everyone knows with the rest. But yeah.
For sure. Hey, listen, you do what you got to do sometimes, and sometimes you got to do the two. And, it is what it is, man. But now I want to talk to you about the aftermath of everything that happened in Nashville. What was it, Misfits 13?
Yeah,
Yep. So you get Keemstar posting the thing about, yo, I just heard from Aiden Ross that Most Wanted just took this money deal to go be on Bram Risk or whatever it was and be there instead of main events and Misfits because they had the whole beef going on. You got KSI, I don't know how many people know this, DMing you, saying you telling you basically, yo, you fucked up, bro. You
yeah.
got all these people just basically letting you have it. What is going through your mind through all of this? How do you feel knowing that your idol basically just told you, "Yo, what the fuck, bro"? Like, what is all the emotions in this?
Um, mm. Well, first of all, I want to just say like, no, I don't idolize no one, but other than that,
Mm,
uh, I'll say like the quick version of the story, right? But I'm gonna be real. Like when I got back to that hotel room, I thought I had like a plan of what I was gonna do, and I was like I was gonna be like done. Like I was basically gonna I was planning to take my own life, and then I
mm,
got like a bunch of texts and calls from people, and like I tried to mute it. But you know when you go on like D&D, but then like you can call twice and it gets through,
yeah,
right? And it was main card. It was John main card. And he called me. He was like, "Yo, bro, like, what's going on? Like, are you good?" He's like, "Bro, you need to get off them spaces. Like, get off that space. Stop talking to them people, and just get your mind right. Like, just be calm. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying." And he was like, "Bro, you should come to the Airbnb with us." And there was like a bunch of the people from Breakout was there, like Lesra, Pat, Waffle, Mark. I shouldn't have started listing names because I'm gonna get forget someone. But
it
Oreo,
is what it
FN
is.
Raw, Waffle, Look Weeks. I think Look Weeks' little brother was there also.
Mm,
Teksuke, Traingram, and I think that's everyone. I probably missed out someone, but I'm sorry. But yeah, everyone was there. So so yeah, I go back there and I'm in the car and I'm like driving with Pat and Lesra. I'm like, oh, man, bro, like this is a crazy night. Like what's
hmm
going on?
Yeah,
Fun story. I made Lesra stop and let me use the toilet on the way back as well. So you know what I'm saying? I'm staying
real
consistent.
guy, real
But
guy.
but yeah, so I ended up going there, and then I was just with everyone chilling, and like when I got there, everyone was like awkward for a little bit, but as soon as I
For
got there,
sure.
it took my mind off it, you know, it took my mind
Hmm
off it. So then we just started talking about random other stuff. Like I'm gonna be real, I'm pretty sure as soon as I got there, I started making jokes about. I guess I'm kicked off Misfits, guys. Like I think I made
Yeah,
jokes like. You know what I'm saying? Because I at that point it's like, what are you gonna do? Cry or laugh in that moment. So I
right.
think, you know,
As far as you want to talk about it, I know you said you had a plan of attack at that point after everything happened.
attack, yeah.
You know, play on words, play on words. you said you said you had like a plan, and obviously that's something you don't want to hear from anybody. And I just want to know, what was it that brought you there to that moment? Was it all of the hatred that you were receiving? Was it just people left and right just attacking you from all angles? Was it a mixture of life on top of all of this just overwhelming you? What what brought you to a point where you felt like enough was enough?
I'll be real, like it was where I came from and then thinking about where I'm gonna have to go back to
Mm,
after that as well. Um I'll say I'll say it like this, right? So where I came from was just like a bad situation. And then I got the Joey Knight fight, and then I got the multi-fight deal after that. So I was like very much more secure. I was like, okay, cool. Like this is I can do this, and I can use this to like keep like going forward in my life and everything. Um, and I was like, all of that had like been like removed from me. Like all of the favor that I had built up, like the goodwill that I had built up through, like even just like my promotion. My promotion was like so a lot of people were giving me a lot of credit for it and everything. Yeah, it was just if thinking about, okay, I have to go back to that where I was, I have to go back to that. And then on top of that, like without going into too much detail, feel free to ask, but I'll say it like this just now. People was like saying, "Oh, well, you didn't walk out, so now you owe me money." and like, oh, you owe me this much money, that was like, that was the immediate reaction. And then going on my phone, and then it's everyone saying, yeah, that guy's a pussy, that guy's this, that
Mhm.
guy's that. Even hearing on a commentary of the actual event, Todd Grisham's like, yeah, what a pussy, or whatever he said, something
Yeah,
along those lines. And then going online, and people are like, yeah, Aiden Ross paid him not to walk out. Aiden Ross paid him not to walk out. And it's a crazy narrative from Keemstar, that's Keemstar's narrative. Keemstar could have very, very easily, because we know he has the connection to do this easily as hell, contacted someone at Aiden Ross's
for
team
sure,
and asked them and tried to find out if there was any kind of a little bit of shadow of validity to that statement. But he didn't do that. No one did that. No one tried to see if there was any truth to it. They just went along with what this guy said. And all of that together, like you said, it was just a whole mixture. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm not about to go back there with this problem, with this extra problem, with this extra problem, because that was already like rock bottom for me. So it would be
right,
going back to rock bottom with a bunch of added extra pressure and other problems and money and etc.
for sure. That makes sense. And I take this moment to say we are appreciative to still have you here because one, nobody should take their life, and two, you're a great human being. You bring a great charisma and personality to this world. Something that people they can say what they want about it, but it's mesmerizing and it's polarizing. That's why somebody with a small stature, not your size, not your height. Sorry, man. But somebody in like our scene, a small creator as they call it, you were able to get to such heights and is elevate as far as a main event on Misfits. All of that should be something you should be proud of. Even if you weren't able to make the walk that day, you know that you have what it takes to get to that level. And now you're able to recalibrate, figure it all out again, take step by step to learn how to be a better person for yourself, for nobody else, and you get to just walk the line of life all over again.
Yeah, no, like definitely. And thank you for saying that as well. Like I genuinely
For sure.
appreciate it for real. But even like the last bit you said is the most important bit to me. Because it's like now I'm I feel like I've leveled up in so many like aspects
Hmm.
of my life. Like just like I've really it really made me like take a step back and like think about what kind of person I want to be like in my life, and what I want to achieve in my life, and how
Yep.
and how I want to go about actually doing those things as well, like with what kind of like attitude and stuff like that. And I feel like I've got a very clear like vision in front of me of what my next
Hmm.
steps are and what I want to do and how I'm going to do those things. Um, and just being a better person, like for everything from being a better person all the way to being a better boxer. Now I know how I've achieved those things like to a degree. I've started achieving that, but I know exactly what I've got to do more and more in both categories.
For sure. Now, what is next for yourself? We haven't really seen you as far as on the big scale. We've seen you in your DKM fight, I believe it was. You had your exhibition fight. Now, we want to know where do we see? We also had the what's it called? The Ben Davis fight as well.
Yeah, karate
So,
combat. Yeah.
yep. So, what else is next for Most Wanted in that chapter? Is there something big that you're looking for next? Is there something that you want to take out as far as as soon as you can?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'm planning to do, but to be honest with you, mostly and yeah, I would say mostly I'm mostly focused on being a content creator. Like, there's a couple of like paths I want to go down. One of them is more to do with the influencer side. One of them is more to do with like
Yep.
a regular traditional boxing kind of approach to things. Um, but either way, it's going to be like properly documented on my YouTube channel. Because I mean, before any of all of this, before KSI fought Joe Weller, before anyone did thought about influencer boxing, I always wanted to be a YouTuber and a content creator. It's just that I've
Hmm.
not really done the right things to be able to pursue them properly. But moving like now from like what my next steps are going to be, it's going to be definitely be heavily including making videos. So yeah, that's the main thing people can expect from me is just videos.
Absolutely. Hey, and this is a good start, man. Just getting your name out there and just trying to keep yourself alive in this whole thing. So I say all this now to say, is there another big fight for Most Wanted?
Yeah, definitely, 100%, without doubt. Without doubt, my future is in boxing in some capacity. And if everything goes to plan, the fights will get bigger and bigger and bigger as they go, for sure, 100%.
Are there any names that you're looking out for? Any names that you can say? Or do you kind of want to just let things go as it is and kind of just build yourself back up until you do get that opportunity again?
I'm gonna let things play out. I'm gonna let things play
Mm,
out and see what ends up making sense. I feel like every time I say a name, there's about 100 people ready to turn around and be like, "Well, you don't deserve that because of this, that, and the third." And I'm really, I'm focused. While I am focused on like doing things for myself at the moment, I also want what I do to be supported by people. So I don't want to come here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna call out X, Y, and Z person,"
exactly.
and then everyone's like, well, you don't deserve that because of this. I want to like actually like level up
Hmm.
and work my way back to a stage where it makes sense for everyone involved.
For sure. Do you feel like Misfits is something that is your end goal in all of this again to make it back and be a consistent fighter on Misfits, or do you feel like there's something much more?
I would like it to be. I would definitely like it to be. Um, but if it doesn't end up being that way, then that's fine as well. I mean, it's not. It's as before. Before it was like I need this, I need this, I need this.
Yeah,
I don't need it anymore. I would definitely like it. I definitely want it, definitely, and it's definitely something I'm going to be angling towards as well. But
hmm,
I'm still hungry for it, but I'm just not feral for it like before. I was like 24-hour space every day, mams, put me on this with mams. Well, I never actually asked, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not as
yeah,
feral, I'll say. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. And now, now that we get all the important stuff out the way, now let's get to the fun stuff. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Well, it depends how you look at things, you know, because some people say that, well, the rings, you know, there's the whole conversation about the rings, but
Mm,
some people talk about LeBron's ring, some people like discredit it because it didn't happen. His ring didn't get achieved under the same conditions that other people's rings, you know, that was the COVID situation and stuff like that. And I personally I lean into that side of things, to be honest with you. And most of the conversations about this end up being about rings and achievements and this, that, and the third, right? In my
for sure.
opinion, I'm not saying his ring doesn't count. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't count as much because it happened under such different conditions. The conditions
Mm.
that LeBron gained that ring was so different than the conditions that Jordan was able to win all of his
You're
rings, and
talking
that's for
about
that
the bubble
reason.
ring.
Yeah, the COVID ring or bubble
Hmm.
ring. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I would say Jordan's that stood the test of time. I mean, especially when it comes to influence. I mean, like
Mm.
look around, like we know, you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying Michael Jordan's still a big influence even in the UK?
Oh yeah, bro. You can't look left, right, and when you're crossing the street, you see some Jordans on someone's feet.
Mm. Okay. So you know a little bit about basketball most.
No, I know everything about basketball. I know
Oh,
everything there
okay.
is to
All
know.
right. All right. So tell me your thoughts on Kobe Bryant, man. Tell me your thoughts.
Oh, Kobe Bryant, that's one of like, listen, that's one of my biggest inspirations right there. Like, I'm gonna be real, like I have mama mentality,
Yeah.
but I have a lot of respect for Kobe. Yes, bro.
Okay.
Well, look, I came back right into the scene. You know what I'm saying? For all the trials and tribulations, for the tumultuous times, I came right back, and I'm here, and I'm ready to
You're
do what I
saying
need to
that
do.
compares to Kobe.
Huh?
You're saying your situation and Kobe's situation. He went through trials and tribulations. You went through trials and tribulations. You're saying they're one and the other.
Allegations, accusations on different
Mm.
scales, but similar severity.
Mm. Okay. All right. I I wouldn't say severity, but Kobe's had some serious
Well, he,
allegations.
well, he had
But
no, wait. He had the R allegations,
yeah,
and
he
I've
had some
had other
serious allegations.
allegations. Yeah.
Hey, it is, tight, tight. But
You know
now,
what? Like another person I'll compare myself to is like Canelo Alvarez. Like,
uh,
because look, when you think about like name some names like Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, Devin Haney, Javonte Davis, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. All of these people have something in common, right?
hmm,
They've all main evented on the zone, and so have I. So we're all one and the same. Like those are my when people talk about Canelo Alvarez, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. When people talk about these people, most wanted, I look around. I'm thinking they're talking about my peers.
yeah,
That's my
you're one
peers.
and the other in the
One
same
and the
room,
same. Two
same
peas in a
jacket.
pod.
Mm,
Hmm.
okay, okay. So, So I'll make sure every time I mention Canelo, I'll mention Most Wanted right next to it.
Exactly, because we're cut from the same cloth.
Okay. I'll make sure Divine Valley likes that. But
Well, he knows. I've already told him. He knows. He understands. You know what? Divine Valley's a great guy. One of my boxing inspirations, and he obviously knows. Like they both main evented. Like it's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
okay. That does make sense. So you got the basketball down. It seems like you're a basketball savant, a Stephen A. Smith, I would say. So let's bring it
No,
over
he's a
to a
hater,
different
bro. He's
sport.
a hater.
Hey, no Stephen A. Smith slander here.
No, but he is a hater.
He is a hater, but I like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
He's a cool guy, man. Come on. Let's talk about some football, though. And I'm not talking about the one you do with your feet. I'm talking about some real man's pigskin, some gridiron fucking grind, some American
Mm,
football. Tell me
mm.
about your thoughts on the greatest football team of all time, the New England Patriots.
Oh, Tom Brady, man.
Come on,
Tom
man.
Brady.
Come on.
Listen, let me tell you, Ran. I hate you because of the color of your skin.
That's how you feel?
That's what he said, right? Nah, why did Tom Brady kiss his like 14-year-old son, bro? That was crazy.
Hey, man, listen. That's how Tom Brady gets down, man. Not like
That's how
that.
he gets down.
No,
Yo,
that's
that's
not.
crazy. That's
Not like that.
crazy.
That's how he get.
No, but Ran,
He's
he gave
compassionate
him a
with
little
his
peck.
son, man.
No, but he gave him a little peck, and then now he said, "Nah, that's not enough. Come back for some more." And then he gave him like a 3-second long kiss. Like, yo, what's wrong with him?
Listen, listen. You know what they say about the artist all the time. I I separate the artist from you
I,
know
I feel it. I feel it. Hey, I'm a Kanye fan, brother. I understand.
yeah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, you talk about the Patriots being the greatest of all time, they're the best. Now let's bring it over to no more sports. You say you're a Kanye fan, but tell us 15 reasons why Kanye is not the greatest of all time.
But he is.
What do you mean?
No, he is the greatest of all time. He's not. You said he's not the greatest of all time?
Not.
No, he is though.
What do you mean?
But he is the greatest of all time.
How so?
Influence. Purely
Mm,
off influence, off
mm,
consistency.
Lil
For as long as he was doing it.
Baby, Lil Uzi Vert.
Did you just say Lil Baby in a GOAT conversation right now? Yo, yeah. Yeah, I know you're trolling. I know you're trolling right now. I know you just said Lil Baby in the same conversation as Kanye West. Like, what?
Lil Baby,
Lil
Lil
Baby's not
Nas
even better than
X.
Gunna. Lil Baby's not even better than Gunna
Facts,
right now.
facts. Which
Facts.
means Gunna's better than Kanye.
No.
What do you mean?
If Kanye never. Yeah, I'm a stand on it. If Kanye never made music, Gunna wouldn't exist.
Oh, oh.
If Young Thug didn't make music, Gunna wouldn't exist. And if Kanye didn't make music, Young Thug wouldn't be doing what he does. That's the truth.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Nah, it's not a hot take. It's literally a quote from Young Thug himself.
Shut up. Don't say that. Don't tell people that. Young Thug would never say that. Young Thug would never say that.
Yes, he would.
He would never say that.
He don't got in it.
Listen, man. Enough of this jibber jabber. Enough of this. Just tell us about your favorite American food, since you are a fellow American nowadays.
Oh yeah, on God type shit. Like let me think.
You from
No,
Atlanta or
but what
something?
American food? The thing is though, when I was in America, I didn't really eat a lot of American food. The
Mm,
only thing I had, and this was not by choice. I did not choose this. I had
okay.
Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse. I haven't had
Yeah, it
Outback
was mid.
Steakhouse in a long time, honestly. So I honestly
It was
couldn't
just
even judge you
okay.
for it. Yeah. So you didn't get any like American fast food. You didn't try
Wait,
like any
I got the
burgers.
Popeyes. The Popeyes.
Okay.
Listen, yeah, we don't have it here. It's called honey. Is it wild honey mustard?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yep. Wild honey
Bro, I
mustard.
got that.
Swiss
I got
bacon.
that to dip my sauce, the wings in from Popeyes.
Oh yeah.
The wild honey mustard sauce
Mm-hmm.
from Popeyes. I
Yes,
would
sir.
buy it from Amazon right now. I'll buy it
Fire.
today, right now,
That
today.
shit is fire. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff right
Mm-hmm.
there. Let's talk about the most recent SCB drama, not involving you. Then we'll talk about you. Let's talk about the Wade Plum situation most because we all
Mm,
know that you have a great relationship with Wade Plum. Wade Plum is
it's
one of your
true.
best friends, someone that
Yeah.
you would say is a very close friend of yours. So let's talk about it.
Well, look, I don't think that Wade Plem's I don't think he's that bad of a guy. Like, I'd take him fishing. But look, the thing is with Wade, right? I think that Wade is I think Wade's he's smart. He's a very smart guy, and I think he knows how to put himself in the right positions, and I think he's good with his timing of things. Um, but the problem is that when everything you do is completely inauthentic, sometimes you get caught out, and people see through the cracks, and people see
Mm,
through sometimes you let that mask slip. And I think that that's what we saw in those clips where he was like, "Stop sending me this CFL breakout stuff." Like, bro, I just don't care, man. I just don't care, bro. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? And then he said it over and over and over again. If I was in his position, I would just mute the person who's saying it. I wouldn't. If I so badly did not want to speak about something, I wouldn't even mention that the person was spamming it. I'd mute the person spamming it, and then I wouldn't have to see it anymore, and I wouldn't have addressed it in the first place. That would be it.
yeah.
I mean, look, I understand. Obviously, his chat was moving at like 0.3 miles an hour, so it must have been quite difficult for him to filter out what he was and wasn't seeing. But at the end of the day, the reason he said that stuff is, in my opinion, because he has like personal issues. I think a lot of it, genuinely, I think some of it might have to do with me. Because
I
honestly,
think
like,
so
oh,
too.
Most Wanted was seen at one point as the face of SCB, and I think he is just holding everyone else accountable to what I said, even though he's really stupid. Because all of the breakout and American people like you and a lot of the other guys was the main ones posting the we stand with
Yeah,
Wade stuff, supporting him
yeah.
through his like
That I believe that was
misfit
the
struggle.
SCB movement. I believe it started through
Yeah, it
SCB.
was. It was. It was. I remember because I remember because I was annoyed. I was like, why are you guys on his side? Anyway.
But so as far as this whole situation, you said you believe it's like a personal vendetta. It may have something to stem with you. What makes you think that someone can go from where he first started? Because you were in the scene when it all started, and you seen how his first original mindset was. You were in the spaces when he was in the spaces. You heard him bringing up Sensei to talk about Breakout as well. Where do you think the mind shift was?
Oh, like I was saying, I think he's completely inauthentic and fake, and he's a social climber. And I think that when you do stuff like that, what happens is you see an opportunity, opportunistic. Oh, right now I'm small. These smaller guys, they see me as a peer, and they're like, they're kind of seeing me as like, oh well, if he can do it, and it's like an inspirational thing.
Hmm.
So let me just support them. Let me feed them so that they feed me more. But then when he got up to the bigger stage from the people that was feeding him like the attention and the likes and interactions and engagement, when he got up to the bigger stage like Misfits and Ring Magazine and MVP and cards, whatever he's doing right now, then he's looking down at Breakout and SCB and he's like, I don't need you niggas. Shut up. Take your ball home. Stop talking about it in my chat. And that's exactly how he felt. And
Right.
I don't like it. I think it's corny, fake, and
Mm.
and you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think most people in his situation would have done the same thing. I'll be honest. I
I
think
agree.
so. I
I
think that
100%
I
agree.
think that yeah, I think that most people in a lot of people's situations like would do the exact same thing
Hmm.
and like, stop talking to certain people. Like
Yep.
certain people when they get onto a bigger stage, like Misfits, they might be in the spaces with SCB guys all the time. And then as soon as they get onto that level, they will just act like they don't know anybody. They will just blow up and act like they don't know nobody. So at that point, where's my flower? Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, no, everyone that's came from the scene has done it. Like Wade did it, Fox did it, and all of those guys did it. Like a lot of people have done it. Most people.
Yeah. But, enough of Wade Clem because we don't need him. So,
No, you know what? I don't know why he thinks we're gonna platform his shitty thing on our stream. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Most, I want to talk to you now about something that's a little more homey to you. Let's talk Breakout, baby.
Hmm.
Breakout '06 just happened.
Me and my team at Breakout.
You and your team at Breakout. You don't have to talk about every fight that happened on Breakout because obviously, you know, Some fights could be more important to you, some fights could feel less essential to you. So I want to know your thoughts on the event itself, any the stuff that may have taken place, and just whatever whatever thoughts that come to mind from that specific event.
The first thought that comes to mind from Breakout 06, unfortunately, is the whole Xavier and Roy pulling out thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's just annoying. Do you know what? Like, I hate it when people compare my situation to the Xavi pulling out one. I think the main difference is the reaction to it. Like, my reaction to
Yeah.
everything was like, you know what? Put my hands up. I messed up here. Let me take responsibility and try and do better moving
Hmm.
forward. The guy is still denying it. He's still talking about his
Yep.
passport. He's still saying, I didn't come because Lesra told me not to. Like, he's still,
Yeah.
like, which is not even true. Like,
Right.
he's just still talking all this
He
rubbish.
just made a
But
post
yeah,
today
anyway.
talking about he would fight Isa.
Yeah. Of course he would fight Iza. He spent the whole fight week talking to Iza and not DDK. He
Right.
spent the whole fight week posting videos about him and Iza and not him and DDK. Anyway, like he literally paid for a prop for Iza and not DDK.
Right.
I wonder why. But what's it called? But moving on from that swiftly, because who actually cares? You know, one of my
Yeah.
favorite matchups on that card that we ended up seeing was Zay Castro versus Divine Valley.
Woo!
Um, that was a great matchup. Um,
Banger.
Nah. In all seriousness though, I'll be honest. I think that the event was really good. I think obviously it's slightly not ruined, but like it was messed over a little bit by the whole pulling
Mhm.
out situation. But you had some good fights on there, like the Pascal and Sean fight. Obviously that didn't end in the best way either, but it was at least they walked out and tried to do something.
Mhm.
Um, JDM versus Diesel, that was a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, my prediction was pretty much spot on. I said
Spot
that
on.
Diesel would have been gun shy after the Chris Bagoon right hand and make him be clumsy and fall into a JDM right hand, and that's literally what happened. Um, who else fought on this card that I should care about? Zay did beat up Slime. That was good. That was good.
Yep.
He went. You know what? Honestly, as good of a fight as it was, and I'm cool with Slime. Not Slime. Ugh, disgusting guy. I'm cool with Zay. As much as I'm cool with Zay though, I feel like he looked way better in his last performance than this performance. I feel like in this performance he
Mhm.
kind of made it more of a scrappy affair rather than like a boxing fight, and I feel
Yeah.
like he could have easily outused the boxing against it
Yep.
Slime and looks really good with it. Who else
Isa,
fought?
Anton.
Oh yeah,
Um.
he's on Anton. Yeah, that surprised me. That surprised me.
Yep.
I'm gonna be sparring Anton here in a few weeks, so
Okay.
that'll be fun. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of confused how Ezra wasn't able to use his strength against him. So I want to see how strong Anton is.
He is a
I
really
still
strong guy. I can't lie.
I'm still yet to come across someone that's like that much stronger than me. So
Really.
I'll be curious. Yeah, like there's people that's been
Anton's
stronger than me, but
solid. Like
like
meeting him in
yeah,
person, dapping him up, and he's really solid. Like he's a strong dude.
yeah. No, I think I've met him before, but I don't remember it. But
Hmm.
yeah, like that would be interesting to see how that goes. Maybe I'll do a video about it. But I think that's pretty much all of the fights that I cared about.
Yeah.
I think. If I'm missing
Cool.
someone, please
Hey, no
forgive me.
worries. Let's talk about the main event. You mentioned it slightly. You do have a lot of history with said opponent or said main event. And I just want to know what was going through your mind watching the fight take place.
Which fight?
The main event, Pascal versus Sean.
Oh yeah. What was going through my mind? I was really upset for Pascal. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was annoyed for Pascal because he got his moment taken away, in my opinion. Because of the way it ended. Like, if he was to have
Mm,
stopped Sean, like stopped him, then he would probably have got like all the credit. People would have been like, "Yo, like Pascal just stopped one of the guys that was considered the best in the scene," and da 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 da
mhm.
da. And it was like really, it would have been more decisive. I feel like he got robbed of the moment, like the moment properly. It didn't really feel like after the fight. It really didn't feel like Sean. It didn't feel like Pascal won. It felt like Sean lost, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, which is crazy. Couldn't be me. I could never actually like make the walk and put on a terrible. I've never done it before. But it is where it is. As soon as that bell rings, I'm ready to go. It's like it switches it flips that switch in you. But obviously, Sean's heart is not in fighting anymore. That's why he retired. Maybe he probably had like reservations about the fight going into it, but didn't want to pull out,
Mm,
which is, you know, fair enough. But yeah, he's retired now, so it makes sense that it's probably like a mental
mm-hmm.
blockage that stopped him from
Right,
performing how he intended to.
for sure. And Breakout does have another event that they are talking about, and it's right in that stomping ground of where you would say that traumatic day took place. Is that something that you're looking to get on and face that fear? I know you did. You go back to Nashville for Karate Combat, or was that in Florida? That
That
was
was in
Orlando,
Florida. That
right?
was in
Okay.
Orlando. Yeah,
Yep. So you haven't been back to Nashville since.
yeah.
Is this
Um,
something that you want to right? You want to right that wrong?
of course, 100% without doubt. I'm really interested in being on that card, and I guess this is like an open call out to anyone
Hmm.
um that wants to fight me on it. I think, should I say names? I'll say names. Why not? But like, yeah, AJ Redwood.
Let's get a most wanted call out. Let's hear the most wanted call out. Let's hear it.
Yeah, like AJ Redwood was like texting me saying, "I want to box you because I believe I can beat you." And he was like, "Please fight me." And I was like, "Okay, like maybe, okay, like I guess I'll talk to Lesra about it. Just tell Lesra to hit me up. Like, why are you being so weird about it? Like, didn't he do like a fake PlayStation 5 giveaway or something? Or was it was just a
I
controller? He gave away just a
I think it was a
controller. It was really
controller.
sad. Yeah. And then Hellboy Kel was talking about doing something with me. I think royalty. The thing is, like with
Mm,
Hellboy Kel's like a bit boring in his promo. Like, I don't want to like ask you
yeah,
this question because I know it puts you in a difficult position because you do the media for like
I'll
Breakout and stuff.
answer. I'm an honest man.
But like, I'll be honest with you, like it looked like you were drawing blood from a stone every single time you interacted with Hellboy Kel.
He
It's
was
like
a
he
tough
couldn't.
cookie to
It's like
crack.
he just. I'll be honest with you though, like it just seemed like he couldn't say anything other than, "Oh, I like chimichangas and Asian girls." Like it was just kind of cringe, bro. Like the whole thing was just dumb. Shouting
Yeah,
about.
I'll be honest. Like, just trying to ask questions throughout the whole week, picking like specific. There was a bunch of people too. It wasn't just Kel, but he was very like he was a very polarizing, boring to me. No disrespect to him, but it just it stood out. Like I felt dead doing some of his interviews, and there's nothing wrong with that. He just started, but I can see what you mean when you say the boring part.
Did he really do any like promo? I don't remember. I don't follow him, so I
It
wouldn't have
was a
seen it on
lot
my
of like
timeline.
it was a lot of like back and forth like gifts. Like one would put some type of gift, and one would respond with a gift that correlates with what they said.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in that then because it's like he's like a movie aficionado. Like, doesn't he make like movie reviews and stuff? So if you make videos about that, then you
Mm.
should really be like into creating like actual storylines
Hmm.
and stuff. But it is what it is.
It's
I
what it
think
is.
um I think maybe if he gets to fight against me, or if he wants to fight against me, it will like draw
You think
some
he
proper
try?
promo out of him. Pardon me. Yeah, I think he would. I think he would try more.
Mm.
He's same with Royalty. I've seen Royalty fight in the past. And he's like he's not very good at boxing, but you know the people in this community seem to think that everyone's a 50-50 fight with me. I've heard people say that me and Zay's a 50-50, me and Pat's a 50-50, me and Teksuke is a 50-50. None of those fights are even close to 50-50, and everyone knows that too. But
Mm.
yeah, I see a lot of people saying stupid stuff about my boxing ability. So if people want to sit there, I mean, Pascal Logic said he thinks that me and Hellboy Kel is a 60-40 in Hellboy Kel's favor. If people want to believe that, then that's absolutely fine. But don't call me a can crusher and all this, that, and the third after I beat these people really easily. Remember, you lot said
Right.
I went life and death with 20 M rows. You
True.
guys said that I went life and death with 20 M rows, and then complained when I went to rematch him. You guys need to make up your mind. Maybe we'll put out a poll. I don't know. It's up to you. We can put out a poll, Ran, and
Hey,
see
that's a good
see
idea.
who they think I
Honestly.
should fight. Like maybe AJ Redwood, Hellboy Kel, and Royalty Promotions. And the Royalty one, I didn't really talk about it properly. I wouldn't mind doing the Royalty one because then I can beef his whole roster, like his whole team. It will
Oh.
be like all of them against me. That'll be fun. That'll be like it'll be a lot of material to work with, and also
Yeah.
Royalty. Like that's just a highlight. He's like a walk-in highlight. Like it's like a ticking time bomb for someone puts that middle knuckle on his chin. You know what I'm saying?
So you really you have three names, but the one you really want is that royalty one or Hellboy Cal.
Yeah, no, AJ Redwood. The only reason I mentioned his name is because he was DMing me, like harassing me in my
Hmm.
DMs. Like he's a harasser. Um, but yeah, he was like harassing me in my DMs, like talking like, "Yo, I want to fight you, man. I'm gonna talk to Lesnar about it." Da, 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 da. It's like, bro, I guess like okay, like he hasn't fought in over a year. I'd much rather fight a more relevant name, a more
For
known in
sure.
the SCB scene name, like a Hellboy Kel or a Royalty
Hmm.
promotion. What's his name? King Royalty. What's his name? What's his actual name? Is it just Royalty?
I think it's. I don't want to dox him. I'll cut it out if it's a dox, but I think it's Ty.
Oh yeah, it's Ty Royal. I know his name is Ty Royal. He says
Yeah.
that all the time. That's why his name's Royalty. But like, is his name like you know how your name is Ran, but it's like really Flash Ran? Is his name
Hmm.
not Royalty something?
I have no idea. Actually, I don't know what his nickname is.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
But so that's Breakout. I want to talk to you now about another event. Sword Seven coming up soon. They just had two fights announced on there. Any thoughts on that event coming up?
I saw the Pat and Waffle thing got announced, and I'll talk about
Yep.
it in a second. But what else got announced?
So today they just announced Mark versus John Maincard.
Right. Here's the thing, right? I'm not really a fan of exhibition fights.
Hmm.
I don't like exhibition fights. Not saying I'm not gonna watch them, because I'm definitely gonna watch it
Hmm.
for sure. Assuming I don't get banned from the live this time like I did last time. Um,
Relatable.
mm. But what's it called? I'm saying like the thing with exhibitions is like why not make it a real fight? Because then the
Mm.
response is often like, oh no, I know it's called exhibition, but they're really gonna be going for it. Then if they're gonna be going for it, then just call it a fight. Like, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I like the Waffle and Pat fight because it's a proper throwback to the OGs. I
Yep.
remember the first time I seen Waffle and Pat, this was this was such a long time ago. I think this was right after Breakout One. I think it was right after Breakout One, and I was in a VC on Discord with Pat, and Lesra and some other guys, and they were like just telling me about the origins of the scene. And yeah, it was
Hmm.
just a different time. I don't know if you guys remember a
Yep.
time when Lesra Gomez was like really going for that Waffle Tackle Gamer
Oh
fight.
yeah.
That was that time.
Yep.
And
And he's
it was
still
just
pushing.
funny because
He's still
I
pushing
know
for that fight.
I see it. But it's like I remember we was in the VC, we was watching the Pat versus Waffle one. And Lesra was like, see, you can do that against me though. You can do that against me. I was like, bro.
Yeah, Lesnar's
Yeah.
very heavy and adamant on that waffle fight. He wants that fight pretty badly.
Lesra is very heavy. That is true.
Mams would like that one. You want to get in Mams' good graces again? You send him that one.
Yeah. Post the clip and tag him and
Right? Oh, I
that.
got you. Long episode, great episode. So I now take this time to thank you for your time. Thank you for the energy, the charisma, the stories, all the great everything. We appreciate you here on Rand's Room, and we hope to see you more on Rand's Room. And I finish this with any final words, most wanted.
Let's go, Ryan.
Let's go, Rand! Come on now. Come on. Thank you, most.
Sent champ.